resolution. What would be optimal? Hello, 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 hello. It's me again. It's me again, Margaret. Yeah. Probably the most unproductive weekend of my life. Counterproductive, anti-productive, productive. I don't know. I just... didn't do anything. Oh, I wrote a few sentences in a couple of my fictions. Let's be honest, when it comes to product, let's be straight up. Fan fiction is exactly an example of true productivity, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's get some work done. Let's get some stuff done. Let's see here. Work on mom today. Get some work done. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, really. Just, I want to blame it on stress. That's what I want to. And it's feasible. It's probably. Is it possible to be stressed out and not realize it? Is it possible to be suffering from high tension and just having that emotional draining without knowing it? This is my question. And I've forgotten entirely. It's been so long since I looked at the sketch that I've forgotten what it is I just sketched out. It's just it's gobbledygook. I can't, when I can't even see the image that I put in there myself. It's just epic levels of sad. In fact, I think I wanted to skip this page entirely. sorry. I'm just... Oh, I can't be like this. I can't let my emotions or my mental state but it does. Hello, Danny Meyer. Hello. Can you hear me out there? Crap. Hold on. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. Testing 1, 2. Hello, Danny Meyer. Hello. Can you hear me out there? I can't tell what it's doing. I'm trying, and I can't figure it out. Testing, testing, testing. I don't know what to do here. It's just. I mean, the rainy turned all the way down, and it's still deafening. Okay. Figaro. I don't know. Can't have it like that. I gotta. If somebody ever figures out how to can, bottle, enthusiasm. There was one time I used to work. This was ages ago when I was in in my 20s, and I had a job when I was living down in Florida, doing door-to-door sales, and we were supposed, and it was a real flighty kind of company, kind of iffy. I was desperate, and I was willing to turn a blind. And we weren't like selling drugs or anything. We were selling like stuffed toys and solar-powered radios and boxes of cheap Tupperware knockoffs and things like that. So, But anyway, I'm out there, and every morning, it was literally, it had to be like a pep rally. We were supposed to come in at like 7 in the morning, just woo, rah, 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 we're going to sell so much today. I mean, I haven't seen that much fake enthusiasm since my high school days. And I took to taking caffeine pills. Because I would get up, I'd be exhausted, I'd get out there, and I would not give a crap about anything at that hour in the morning. And I was like, screw it, So I started taking caffeine pills. I figured, maybe I'm just tired, maybe I just need a boost. So maybe having a little caffeine will boost my mood a little. And so I started taking the caffeine pills that the truckers used. All it meant was that I'd arrive at work, I'd still have a crappy attitude, and I'd be jittery on top of it. I mean, well, these people, you see these people at the cartoon, they drink the coffee and they're human beings again. No. They're the same crappy people they were before their first cup of coffee. They're just more, they're energetic about it. I wish I could put my finger on what would boost my mood when I feel like this. Because, it's, poison. Killing me. It's costing me everything. Can't be like this. Can't live like this. Can't be, It's just drag. I can't drag. I've got to re-find my energy, my enthusiasm, my zest for life, I suppose. Crap, I forgot. I forgot to reboot the Wacom tablet driver is acting wonky again. I forgot to reboot my computer. this next page is gruesome. Wanderer ends rather suddenly. Topics of today, topics for discussion. Sort of exhausted, burned out on that too, because look around. Every day it's a new brand of crazy. Every day, literally, I've gotten a new story in my Facebook about something Obama or the Democrats have gotten up to. How drained I am. Not getting proper sleep. On fall. trying to think of anything of or commentary I've seen in past few weeks. Okay, it has been raining on and off all day today. Outside. Well, let's try and get some blood flowing. Talk about some stuff. Any good or bad? Well, let's see. Still working on in the stable. You know, when I can't seem to write much, I'll scribble down a few sentences for each one. It helps kind of, and makes for a little, gains a little ground, let's see. Can't really think of any that stand out particularly. There's one in particular called Bad Mondays. I'm looking at the page for it right now, the pop-up for it right now. This author apparently didn't want to go through Ponyville. He hated Ponyville. He's a human in Equestria. He brings him to Equestria. He literally is traveling through the Everfree Forest and almost goes to Ponyville, but he sees a flying horse and says, take that to Nopeville, and runs in the opposite direction, and ends up in the Griffin Kingdoms. And basically, through a lot of contrivance, he basically ends up a vampire. Through circumstances, he gets bit by a Thestral, of Luna's bat ponies. Some odd quirk of alchemy. He was apparently tanked to the gills on some sort of performance-enhancing magic potion, and somehow that combined, it turned him into a vampire. This is a story where I got... Now, you'll remember in Darth Vulcan where the found out that the bat pony basically had been malnourished because they had been forced to live on fake blood. That they are part vampire bat and that they need meat and especially blood to be healthy. And that despite this... the nobility in Equestria had forced Celestia to pass a law that no bat pony could live in Equestria unless they swore off blood and lived entirely on chemical substitute, which was to real blood what a brown crayon dissolved in water is to actual hot cocoa. Anyway, this is where I got the whole idea for the blood band. This is why I got the story, because it struck me as so stupid and so unethical. So basically, they told these people, they basically outlawed food for these creatures, and if they are caught drinking any sort of blood, human blood, animal, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, that is the stupidest, most unjust thing I've ever heard of. And it gets even worse because you find out that when they tank up on the good stuff, their abilities increase. They're basically forced to operate at a fraction of their actual potential because ponies are squeamish about anything that isn't a vegetarian. I hate that trope too. I hate that particular trope too. Look, the equestrians, yes, I'm sure the ponies are herbivores. And we'll talk in a minute. It might not be quite as ironclad as people think. But doggone it. Okay. let's just look at the main six. Main six. Twilight has an owl and a dragon assistant. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that he lives on something. You know, he lives on more than just gemstones. Twilight has an owl. Cat. Applejack has a dog. Fluttershy has half the animal kingdom. And Pinkie Pie has an alligator. And I'm pretty sure that tortoises are omnivorous too. So tortoises, I believe, are omnivorous. The other 5 are carnivorous, and at least 3 of them are obligatory carnivores. So if they are either feeding these animals meat, or they are feeding them kibble made from meat, which means they have an entire industry built around turning animals into dog food and cat food and owl pellets, and it's a terrible idea, and it's ridiculous. Poke fun at it. The worst. Hold on a second. Let me refresh. The feed is so bad. I'm only getting an okay rating. Not owl pellets, owl kibble, whatever. So, owl pellets are what they spit up. Anyway. A few days ago, I tried to tweak the settings on Adobe Flash Media, and I completely buggered it up, and I don't know what changed, because I changed it and I immediately forgot what I was changing, and I do not know how to fix it. I do not know how to change it back. I'm going to try something. I'm going to stop the feed for a second, right? Okay, let's see if that changes it. Roll in. Roll in. Okay. And it's still doing it's still the whole gibbledy-gobbledy thing. The bottom of the screen isn't. Let's see. 1280 by 720 output. Okay, I'm stopping it again. Testing, 2. Okay, dang, I did it again. Okay, give me a second, I'm gonna try one more time. Testing. Testing, can you hear me? Okay, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but, yeah, I swear, when am I going to learn? Okay, fixed, but I fixed it. Okay, I don't know what I fixed, but, I fixed it. I think. Okay, I don't know what I fixed, but I fixed it. Okay, I don't know what I fixed, but, I fixed it. Okay, well, yay. Anyway, back to what you're... Bucking Nonsense's story, yeah. His story, I'm going to save and destroy Equestria. His latest chapter, yeah. Jump the shark straight into a brick wall, as you put it. Look, Bucking Nonsense has done 2 stories so far that I've really liked. First one was, who is this Tyrek? Who is this Tyrek that you speak of? Is a human in Equestria who wakes up in the body of Tyrek. Equestria. And basically, it was just over the top, balls to the wall, craziness. It was hysterical. It was great fun, you know. And it was great fun. He managed so that the protagonist was not a raging Mary Sue, which himself, you put a character in you give a character the form of the most powerful being in the setting. But that takes some work. I was a little disappointed. You know, he had a ship on in the story, and then he just wrote in a couple of words. But, you know, it didn't work out. And Nightmare Moon, and the all the monsters and demons of Tartara escaped, and just hell out of it. Mayors got together and brought back the only being they knew of. They didn't know. Nobody knew what had happened to Celestia or Luna. Not even a body left, right? But only choice they had to try and Sombra. They resurrected King Sombra, but they got the soul being stuck in his body. And it's up to this point, up until latest chapter, it has been another example of just crazy over the top fun. And but then he just slammed it right into a brick wall. An hour. He had the protagonist get into a drunken battle with the, and in the middle of the fight, he has an epiphany. Equestria has been absolutely baffling him because it doesn't make sense to him. The sun and the moon orbiting the Earth and all the laws of physics don't seem to work right. And he comes to this conclusion: there are no rules. And instantly transforms into a God mode Mary Sue. Because he knows that there are no rules. And that he can make up the rules spot for whatever he wants. And he basically instantly defeats the two demons he was battling, and restarts, reforges the moon and the sun from their shattered remains, and he just rockets off the end of the pier, straight into a brick wall. He comes back to his powers because he had to come back and erase his own memory to restrain his power, nearly unravel. And like, oh crap. Okay, one of the rules of writing is not to do this kind of thing. When you create a fictional world, the thing you have to set out are that there are limitations. That this universe has laws, has rules, has limits on power. Otherwise, the character has nothing to challenge them. I remember reading years ago, I read a supposedly scholarly article by this man who was sneering at fantasy genre because you can just have a wizard come up with any solution. And I'm like, on. I've never read a worse misunderstanding of how writing fantasy works. The fact that to make up the rules of a fantasy universe from scratch that makes it easier to write. That's like saying a unicycle is easier to ride than a bicycle because it has one less wheel. A writer who creates a fictional universe has to set limitations. Set rules that everybody author has to play. And bucking nonsense with this latest chapter just threw it all out the window. That whole I hate that trope. Reality is what you believe in. People who believe that kind of crap, they're those useless retards from the philosophy department at your college. The only thing they're good for is for taking to a bar, getting drunk, and then convincing them that their world exists so you can take the money out of it. Now, Star Trek has rules. Uh, well, yeah, as I recall, they had that in the Star generation. Had that outsider or traveler or beyonder or whatever they called him, who revealed the universe to the Star Trek crew by accident. That belief made things real, you know. And I just, you just wanted to push the author off there. Well, we live. This was one of the things we have to deal with daily. We live with a world full of people who don't want to believe in the rules of reality. They can't deal with reality, and so they accuse you of sexism or racism or any number of things, and there's no rules to moral ethics. Ethics are situational. Morals are a matter of perspective. And when that doesn't pan out, they insist that they'll go so far as to insist reality itself is a matter of opinion. They call that postmodern philosophy. And the fact that anybody took it 5 seconds says terrible things about the human race. No, actually, it runs on reality. Gag in the Discworld that the tropes of fiction and of fiction in general are basically the laws of physics for that. He's basically just so that the reality is nothing more than a dream, effectively nothing more than a lucid dream is having, that he can change and tries to make the anthropomorphic to boot. Because the protagonist got involved in a and apparently he had to go the long way around to find a way to give him some boobies to hold. I hate that trope. I hate it with a passion. How they stir it up or dilute it or mix it. I hate it. Because we have to deal every single day with people who will, with a straight face, insist that reality is objective. It's like having to babysit a mentally challenged 200-pound baby. And fiction that uses that isn't. It's fiction that uses the whatever you believe in becomes true. It's not a story anymore. Because one of the first premises of a story is that you open a book, you are stepping into a world with set rules, and how things turn out are going to be how they work. Believing really hard doesn't change anything. I pointed out in the comments, but they're not going to listen to me. I think there's certain social cachet in not listening to way. You, uh, there was something else that crossed my mind earlier today. I'm trying to think of it. Look, every day it's getting alarming. It used to be about this kind of ridiculousness maybe once a year or once a month, but now we're hearing about these people getting sued for offending the wrong people. Every day, I mean, literally, every day. I turn on my Facebook feed and here's another Christian couple because they won't conduct marriages on their property for gay people, and then there's another story about another bakery, and there's another story about another church, and you got people suing to have certain books pulled off the shelf because they're offensive, quote unquote. The story of it is these same people who are pushing all these lawsuits because they're so offended. They come from the same franchise of people who literally spend every day of their lives trying to figure out new ways to be offensive themselves. Remember the guy who dunked a crucifix into a jar of his own urine? Or the one, or the one who painted. You could barely call it a picture. Stuck pornographic cutouts and animal dung on it and called it a picture of the Virgin Mary. There are people out there who their entire career revolves around finding the most shocking and offensive thing they could do. Now, let's give the guys who make South Park credit. Crass their name, but they don't take any garbage from people who, I'm offended. We need to start a campaign that flat out says the Second Amendment isn't to protect offended people. You know, the Bill of Rights is not there to defend offended people. The Bill of Rights is there to protect you from offended people. Definition of censorship: somebody is angry and offended at what you did, and they try and use any means at their disposal to silence you. The First Amendment is there, it's there which you don't like. The Bill of Rights is there to protect you from people who protect you from offended people. Our entire society has forgotten. And it's supposed to apply to everyone. It only applies to certain groups. It is, I mean, a bunch of homosexuals want to engage in pornographic acts out in public. Hey, there'll be police lined up to protect them while they do it. Some guy wants to dunk religious symbols into boards, take photographs of the results, and post them up everywhere they can. Oh, there'll be lawyers lined up around the block to protect them. You want to, but you run a business and you say you don't want to this group, that group, or the other group. And the right to freedom of association is right there in the Constitution. It's supposed to be protected. Forget you. You have no rights. You have no protection because you're not one of the special groups. The ones who vote Democrat basis and give politicians permission to steal money from the rest of us. It's wrecked. Imagining themselves wise, they became as fools. Oh, the 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 rules are gone. Okay, talk about living in a society with no rules except those in power. We are a nation ruled by thugs. The rules only apply to them when they apply in their favor. Nobody likes it when they're called out on the carpet for breaking a rule. But anybody above 5 years old knows that the rules have to apply, or they're not fair and they don't work. They're not rules at all. They're just code of privilege. They're spoiled children. And then they elected him, and they elected their king. Oh, the reports coming out, Michelle and Barack, the people that deal with him is like this. What little I've seen, they said it's like dealing with a spoiled child. If they don't get the way they want, they're impossible to deal with. I've been accused of doing the same thing myself, of just shutting off conversations. I won't deny it. There are times when I just get so tired of trying to explain to somebody, arguing with somebody who thinks that up is down, left is right, and night and black is white. You can't talk with somebody who's like that. I just say phooey on it. Time you're eating up my face. I don't have an eternity of time to waste that. it's uh, what what can you say to a world of people for whom the rules are meaningless? And again, I'll point back to this. I'll point back to this over and over and over and over again until it sinks. Start repeating it. Hell, maybe get enough people start seeing a movement to change it. There are three things. Our society is collapsing because for 90 years we have let the government teach our children. Public schooling is only about 100 years old. Government schooling, that is, federal government schooling. For just over 90 years, the Scopes monkey, every child brought into the public school system has spent 12 years of their the first 12 years of their life, almost just being taught over and over again that their parents' religion is a fairy tale, and that their parents are ignorant and uneducated fools if they believe it. Now, whether you believe the Bible or not, I'll ask yourself, what society whose children are taught that their parents are fools and to mock and deride and the foundation of their beliefs, of their culture, their values. As they put it, they're so astonished. They spend the science class. They spend every science class for 12 years telling that they're just descended from monkeys, and then they're astonished when the kids act like monkeys. And you try and say that, and they're like, "Oh no! It's exactly that. It's exactly that." You get a kid, take him aside, and basically you teach him evolution, and when he questions it, they tell him, "Oh well, your parents aren't taught like we are. They're not as educated as we are. These are just old folk tales." Your first lesson isn't evolution. Your first lesson is reject your parents' values. Inferior. That's the first thing I figured out here. First thing I figured out. We spent 90 years teaching for fools. Astonished at the results. Second thing I've come to the conclusion is that our society has forgotten very, very important. The Bill of Rights isn't there to protect you from being offended. The Bill of Rights is there to protect you from offended people. Because both of offended at things and then killing what offends them. I'm speaking of an entire culture, Adrian, an individual there. Quite frankly, where do you think your parents picked up their leftism? Now, the third thing I've learned is that protests mean little. Look, we've got the Tea Party. I mean, we have literally got people in the Tea Party working day and night trying to change the government. But what happens? They go out. What do? They go out, they get a permit from the government to protest. They go out. Rights. We want our rights. We want our government, small government, smaller spending, lower taxes. And the says, do you have your permit? Oh, terribly sorry, officer. I'll trot right on home. Since my license to practice free speech in public. Oh, we'll pick up the litter on the way out. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. They're obedient as house pets. Thing that I've learned, thing that I've come to a conclusion on. This is what I've seen by example. They are not going to start listening to us until we start disobeying them. As long as we do whatever they tell us to do, they don't have to listen to us. It's on both sides. It's always when people misbehave is when those in power realize they're not going to have it so easy. Now, I'm not talking about like these 99%ers and the Occupy Witless Street people who go out and riot and crap on police cars and set Starbucks on fire and crap like that. No. Simply refusing to obey all their petty little ordinances, all their petty little rules, all their petty little laws, and being willing enough to go to jail if they say to do it, and you refuse. I mean, seriously. Things didn't change because Martin Luther King Jr. marched and protested. Things changed because Martin Luther King Jr. and his fellow men marched when the government told them they weren't allowed to. Did it anyway. It worked for the apostles. The government of the time told them, you will not go out and speak this man's name. And they went out and did it anyway. They were beaten. They were executed. But they kept doing it. And it turned down. Protests mean nothing when they are polite little gestures that they go in there and they get a little permit and the government pats them on the head. Such a good little dog. And they go out and they have their little protest, tra-la-la-la-la, and then they come back home and nothing's changed. We put on a floor show for the neighborhood. That's all. When we stop asking permission and we refuse to beg for forgiveness, that's when we're going to start seeing the listen to us. Or, and it's going to cost us. Out here who were people in Hungary, it's cost them thousands and thousands. The government came in and punished them. They exercised their human right to not work at another's behest. And the government said, came in and said, "Bake this cake, bitch, or we'll destroy you." And they still refused. And said, "You're going to pay over $250,000 in fines." And we're passing a rule, a gag order that says you're not allowed to talk about it to anyone. They're disobeying that too. I'm going to have the steel-coated brass balls to step up and say, "No, we're not going to pay this fee either." You disobey the law, costs you. Even if that law is unjust. But if it's unjust, that's all the more reason to disobey it. We've lived too long in a society. It's much easier to just quietly fill out the paperwork, quietly pay them more money for a yes. Guys, right. And we pay and we obey and obey. Moo. Moo. Cows won't even try and down a 2-bit fence. Why would a ranch hand listen to a cow? When the cows get pissed and go on a stampede, then the cowboy starts paying attention. Or heck, just let one cow decide, "Oh yeah, this is a nice fence, push." And then walks over into the next pasture. That rancher will spend some time figuring out why that cow ignored that fence. Just by saying I have this YouTube, I risk having somebody sue me. I risk somebody passing a law that makes homosexuality is unnatural and immoral, and still a sin. When I say that gay marriage makes is about as real as well, it just isn't. There's no such thing as gay marriage. There's gay people playing house. People are stupid. They say "Oh, we should get the government out of marriage. Let's get the government out of marriage." No. That's stupid. It is. Governments exist. Marriage. It's the oldest instance the human race knows. Before governments, kingdoms, nations, tribes, it was a man and a woman. That's with a man and a woman coming together to carry on for the next generation. And what about those families that can't? What about those couples that can't have it? Oh, shut up. That sterile couple still has more chances than you two gay have of. It's biology. It's not bigotry. It's when a society, governments are created to serve the purposes of the family. And one of the things a government is to legally recognize the validity of a married couple. They have to say this marriage union, or in back when they had polygamy, they had to say this man and his wives. They represent a unique institution, a unique, and we will recognize it as such in our laws. We will support it and we will protect it. Just acknowledge that there's a difference between marriage and just a man and a woman hanging around each other. That's a vital difference. That's a vital purpose. What there's, it's stupid. Get the government out of marriage. Great. That way, there's no legal difference at all between a married couple over here and a couple shacked up over there, and a guy living with a guy and a girl living with a girl, and a man married to a cow, because the government is no longer allowed to distinguish between them. It's the same. They get what they want. This, they can have their cake and eat it too. Either way, if they get gay marriage, they redefine the legal institution of marriage. If they get to give up marriage, nobody can their grouping anymore. Oh, horse apples. We keep government in marriage because, as it says, we keep marriage in government. We keep government in marriage because governments exist to protect the family and to serve its purposes. It was the family that created the government, not the other way around. The government has an obligation to defend that institution. The fact that it has done a terrible job with its easy laws and its casual attitude towards the issue, that doesn't change a thing. That's a stupid line of reasoning. Oh, well, we've already got gay marriage. That's like finding out that you've been gut shot and putting a bullet through your brain off. No. Okay, the stream's going bad again. No good. And I have no idea why. I have no idea how to fix it. I've only been on for like 46 minutes and I'm already... Okay, I will be right back. Nature calls. Hang in there. Oi. And I have returned. I'm sure that thrills you to no end. Okay, is there anybody still there? Whew. I'm winded. Give a hoot and... beg your pardon. Give a hoot and a holler when you get a minute. Okay, let's see if I file save. A bit gassy. Some ravioli. Oh, jeez. I've got like fish fillets and chicken patty things in the freezer. Do something with that. I got a little bacon left. Chicken fish bacon patties. Just wrap everything in bacon. Yeah. I hated bacon as a kid. I did. Uh-oh. I don't know if you can hear me out there. I just had a power outage. Okay. Where was I? What was I saying? I can't remember. It was a topic too. I don't know. What was I saying? I'm back for one. Oh, well, I've been waiting for this one. Your true color. Okay, for the life of me, I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Bacon. When I was a kid, I hated bacon. Because my cooked it until it was so crispy, there was nothing left. I was in my 20s before I found out bacon could be meaty. Changed my life, let me tell you. Why becomes such a fad? I wonder. Probably a backlash against the whole vegetarian, vegan, live on oat bran till you die thing. You won't die if you eat oat bran, you'll just feel like you did. Right, let's see here. I had something I was thinking of. I was thinking of it, and then I forgot it, and I don't know now. Okay, I'm getting a really bad stream rate here. It's getting a bad headache, too. But today and made some Kool-Aid. Yay! I'm sitting here thinking about coveting Coca-Cola or some root beer. I'm sitting thinking about it. I'm like, got Kool-Aid. You want a sweet drink? Make it. Kool-Aid supposedly has less sugar than soda. I could look that up, find out. Maybe in a minute, maybe in a little bit. I'm a crap artist. I'm gonna take a minute. I want to look up something. I want to look up some things here. Let me switch you over here. So I want to confirm. I want to confirm that I have been drawing. Here we go. I had a headache this big. Wanderer's cameo has just ended, and I'm going to be starting another one. She specifically requested her character get wasted. So, okay. But, let's see, Google. Well, I'm not the first person to ask. Can you have stress and not know it? There we go. Silent signals you're stressed. and how to relax. Okay, this sounds so wussified, I'm not trying to blame. I'm not trying to blame my problems or my failures and stress. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to uh, shuck off the blame for my own shortcomings. I just want to stress that. I'm just trying to determine if my creative lethargy uh, gone the less creative and productive and I've gotten, even as I that's the hell of it. When an artist goes under stress, their creativity drops at precisely, when they're under financial stress, their creativity drops at just the time they need it most. So, let's see here. And this is if I fix something to rejuice my creative output, I want to grab for it. I'm gonna switch this over here. Stormy weather. All right. It's really not telling me I already know. Stress is not good. I want, I mean, issues. I've got things that are going on. I mean, if I was to list the things that I have on the back burner or that I'm worrying about, Stress personal test. Online test. Google. Well, it rates me as not, moderate stress, moderate anxiety, extremely severe depression. Okay, yay. Alpha brainwaves boost creativity and reduce depression. Well, that's it. I'm basically a pissed off Eeyore. always been sort of a down person, really. I have no idea what constitutes normal in that regard. That's a conundrum. Do you suppose most people normal? I mean, they've been just so long that that's the new normal for them. This is a question to answer. Whether you call it stress or anxiety or depression or whatever, I'll be blunt. I'm not a happy man. And tell that it's my own fault doesn't really help. This is why Christians need to be in for faith, for fellowship, and for emotional and spiritual strength. I haven't attended church in months, almost a year, I think. I'm not a member of any local church. And circumstances are dictating that I can't exactly trot out the door on Sunday and just zoom on over to the nearest church. My van is essentially parked until I get various taken care of, like licensing and its tags and my physical condition makes going anywhere something of an ordeal. So, yeah. If I'm to be anything to you guys, take me as a bad example, okay? In this regard, do not try and go it alone. While you're healthy, while you've got a working vehicle, when you can get, if you're still able to uh, get out of your house, go to church, even if you have to force your in your local church. I'm talking just if you haven't got Christ, if you haven't got Jesus Christ in your heart, you might as well be driving to a parking garage and sitting there for an hour. You're not going to do you any good. Get Christ first, then join a local church, then attend faithfully. Get involved with them too. Get to know the people there. You can do that in a little mom and pop, one of those little two family churches mega churches. Even those churches that have like 10,000 people, that means that there are 10,000 people. You can pick out a few people that are sitting right next to you and get to. We're the body of Christ. How well does part of your body cut off a circulation? Myself. And not quite sure how to undo it. I'm going to have to walk into a church and shock the fool out of people by my appearance. I'll have to walk in, I'll be wearing a t-shirt, cut off pair of sweatpants, wraps on my slippers on my feet. It'll take me 15 minutes out of my van in the parking lot. Let myself be all alone. When you're all alone, there's a reason wolves cut sheep out of the flock before they attack them. housefly. Huh. What is a housefly? You pick up a fly swatter and swing at them, they'll buzz around you even more. Fly's sitting there going, done a strafing run on this individual for the past half hour, along with many of my brethren. He has no food, and many of us have died. Should come up with a tactic. No. Ah. Okay, let's see here. I'm being very, I know I'm being very quiet again. That rain just can't pull the volume on it anymore for some reason. Beg your pardon. I hate being like this. It's only 8:30. Let's see. Let's see. Getting more sleep would probably help a big deal. Gotten this nasty habit of falling asleep at my desk again. Okay, got some good news. The Nip and Tuck's Redux project has been accepted. Let's see here. Oh, wait, let me check something. Basics. Continue to launch product now. Ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Now we're gonna Google and Twitter and everything else it. Okay. For those wondering, I am posting it. And let's see. Gallery, effects. Text. Okay, I've started the new Kickstarter campaign. It is Redux. It's basically over 900 in the Nip and Tuck archives. And some of them dating all the way back to the year 2000, 2001. They could stand a facelift. Is that I am raising money as the goal is $2,000. For every $10 I raise, I will re-render. I'll go back in, touch up, redraw, add new, fix the text, colorize them, and post the strips. I'll facelift for every $10 that I receive in Kickstarter pledges. That means the starting the campaign is $2,000. So that will be 200 strips right there. I'm going to be over the moon if I manage to raise enough for all 900. Assuming I don't back right then and there. Its campaign is running from now, September 1st. The strips will be drawn and posted online, and all the strips that are redone will be put together in a folio. There'll be a collection that will be made available through kablam.com. Mini anthology, basically. And those who donate will have their names put in there as contributors. I would like to Vote early, vote often. Like, just to make that available to anybody who wants to know about it. Okay. Ah. Oh, that's nifty. There we go. Ha ha ha. I found a new trick in my minicam program. Ha ha. Yes. Live, learn, and grow. Yep, Adrian, it's another. I'm still working on this one. I've not stopped, and I will keep going. As you can see here, let me switch it over so you can see what I'm working on right now. Working on the next page right now. I had a headache this big. It's a little slow going. The tablet driver decided to poop out again. I have to reboot the whole computer to fix the tablet mouse, the tablet driver. I don't know why I wanted to keep saying mouse. I don't have any particular association of a mouse and a driver. Maybe Runaway Ralph. I don't know. Don't tell me you don't know Runaway Ralph. Runaway Ralph is a very popular book. It's very simple, very straightforward. Like I said, for every $10 raised in the Kickstarter, I will redraw and colorize a strip. We'll start with the very first strip in the archives, and go from there. And the strips will be posted on the website in their brand new shiny house. To be assembled into a hard copy, which will be available through Kablam. Everybody who donates will be listed in what on heck? In 2006, a Norwegian coach gave a ski pole to a Canadian, allowing her to go on to win the silver medal. Canadian citizens were so touched, they collectively gave him 5 of maple syrup. I don't know. Maybe they thought ate pancakes by the ton. I don't get that. I really don't. mean, 5 tons of maple syrup. That's an epic level gag gift. But I don't know. Syrup. Give him 5.2 million Canadian dollars or something. I could, I think I would understand, but or give him a big bankroll or just random gifts. But what possessed them to assume that maple syrup was the ideal thank you gift? Is this a Canadian thing? Well, you really saved our bacon there with your firemen putting out the fire in the house. Here's some maple syrup. There was a hijacking in Canada a while ago. Some dude stole tons of maple syrup. At that point, you're going, okay, you need to get out of Canada once in a while. Just, you know, go visit someplace that so you can, someplace warm so your brain can thaw out. I don't know, because with the syrup. I don't know how to make hyperlinks. Well, I'm not worried about you. If you start giving people allotments of a pancake topping, it's time to leave the log cabin and go mingle with strange modern people who. That's like there was this one tribe in Africa. They heard about 9/11. They heard about September 11th, and they sent something like they rounded up 15 of their cows, and then they went and they herded them to the first American embassy they could find, and said, "This is to help out uh, because of the September 11th." Uh, and I'm like, 50 is like an epic fortune to those people. And I was so moved when I heard about that. I'm like, there, somewhere out there in the boonies is some little, Stone Age tribe that has the biggest, baddest, best friend it ever had in his entire life. I hope our government, President Bush administration, they sent them something or did something in some sort of jet. I haven't heard it. I'm like, I mean, that's the gesture just so moving. Makes you wonder how they're doing now. Well, God bless them. Drink that a little bit. Maybe shrink it a little more. I don't know. 10. Okay. Ugh. I don't know. I I feel more guilty about saying that I'm. I feel more about saying that my productivity is slumped because I'm stressed out and depressed than I am about. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. It's kind of screwy, but I feel more guilty about saying my productivity slump is probably to depression than I feel about the self. I feel horrible about the slump. I feel more guilty and more than trying to put my finger on why. Can you grok that? Can you get what I'm saying there? I want to find an answer and something that'll get things moving again. Depressed, being, I don't know. Am I depressed? I'm bummed out all the time. Uh, and the strangest things will set me off. So yeah, I've got issues. Just need chocolate. No, I don't want to be one of these people that sits around and whines. Oh, I'm just so depressed. I'm so stressed. I'm so unhappy. Well, I do that anyway, but I don't want to start using it as an doing anything. I don't want that. I'm not going. I'm doing. Just trying not to fall into that trap. I don't know. I've always been raised to be rather critical of any claims of mental health problems because, well, let's be honest, sop and for everything up to and including murder. Oh, oh my knee. Oh, darn. I don't want to just make. I want solutions. I want to find solutions. I want to fix myself. I don't know. It's sometimes it feels like trying to conduct brain surgery on yourself. Trying to when you're trying to change who you are and change behavior and your attitudes and emotional state. Sometimes it's like trying to perform brain surgery on yourself. Emotions. really wish there was a magic elixir way they show coffee on. I wish I could just pour a mug of Java, chuck it, suddenly be ready to take on the whole world. Okay, It is. It's but I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Running dry on material to talk about anyway. Thank you all for listening. Yourselves. Pass on the Kickstarter if you can. Y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Have yourself a nice night.